Welcome back to Homesteading with the Zimmermans, where we work hard and play hard on our little corner of land in Iowa. My husband and I were born and raised Old Order Mennonite, or horse and buggy Mennonite, as some refer to them as. And although we are no longer part of that culture or community, we are intentional about passing on the old-fashioned skills of our childhood to the next generation. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Homesteading with the Zimmermans. My name is Ruth Ann Zimmerman, and we are all so glad that you're here. In today's video, we are taking a little road trip, and we're gonna visit a place that we've talked about visiting for years, and we just never got around to it. Well, after the busyness of last week with the photo shoot with my publisher and all, leading up to that, we were busy getting the property ready and maintaining everything so that it is presented the way we want to present it. And we kind of felt the need for a little bit of a rest day. So if you can call getting up at 5 a.m. a rest day, that is what we did. It's not real, it was like an hour drive, but we're gonna visit the Seed Savers Exchange in Decorah, Iowa. If you are ever in the area, I really encourage you to go visit. So I will be giving a little bit of history of the Seed Savers Exchange and what they're all about throughout the video. But part of the reason that we left at 5 a.m. is because we wanted to be there at sunrise, because if you've been here for a while, you know that the garden in the morning is one of my very favorite places. Don't forget to stick around to the very end of the video, where I'm gonna find something to ferment, because that's been my challenge this summer, is to ferment more things. And we're using the hashtag Meanttoferment. So on social media, if you are joining me in this challenge, use that hashtag and I'll see it, and hopefully I'll get around to sharing it. But at the time of editing this video, I'm not yet sure what I'm gonna ferment, but I'm gonna go walk to my garden, see what I can find, and ferment it and film it and add it to the very end of this video. So as the sun comes up, we leave behind the farm country of Iowa and enter more of the rolling hills part of Iowa as we get closer to the Mississippi River. When we arrived at Seed Savers Exchange, we could see that the sun would have to come up from behind the trees before it would actually hit the gardens. So we made the decision to go and tour the orchards first. And the Seed Savers Exchange, the gardens and the orchards are open from sunrise to sunset during the growing season. So in the orchard, they study and preserve all the heirloom varieties of apples that are hardy to this region. And you get to walk around and taste them. Now, we were a little early in the season to get really good tastes and ideas, so a lot of the apples were not yet ripe and left us a little wanting. But it was a beautiful morning in the orchard.
There's little apples.
Maybe they're Johnny Appleseed apples.
Yeah, we should get more because it's little.
Yeah, that is a little sweet.
Let me try that one. Is it sweeter than mine? Oh my, yeah.
Is it?
No, I didn't. Hey, Mom, this fell. This fell.
Oh, there's the sign. Wolf River.
Wolf River? Wow.
These are ready. They're dropping.
Oh.
You found one for me?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sign. Can you go hang the sign up, Kendrick?
Oh.
Can you wrap the wire around the branch? so
Yeah,
it
there
stays
you go.
Oops. These are bold.
There you go. That's good. Yeah.
Do you think they're
Are
ready?
these like crab apples?
They're so small.
They are. Look at that. The habit of it.
Hard.
They're hard.
That's like as hard as a rock. That is fun. It's like those other ones that we tasted. It is,
They're so small.
Does it taste good?
Hard. Oh, hard.
Can't even bite it. It's so hard.
You try it. You can't. You can barely even bite it.
How was that one?
I didn't get much past the skin.
Oh,
Is it
skin
sour?
isn't very good.
In this historic orchard at Seed Savers Exchange, they have over 1,200 of America's oldest apple trees. And their goal is to preserve these heirloom variety of apples for future generations. Now, you're not going to find Honeycrisp and Galas and Jana Golds in the orchard here at Seed Savers Exchange, but they are doing a wonderful job at keeping young nursery stock and replacing, the older trees with younger trees of the same root stock. So as the sun came up over the trees, we headed down to the vegetable and flower area of the Seed Savers Exchange. And they have a lot of their information on a sign right up front by the visitor center. And we enjoyed reading all about it and being amazed and grateful at all the work that goes into saving these heirloom seeds. Yeah, you can go in. Borage. Okay.
They could hire us to put the mulch down.
Mm-hmm. They sure could. Their tomatoes.
This is giant. It would take forever.
Right?
But what kind of tools would they have?
No.
Whoa. Are these really Pokemon? Corn, this is so
That's
small.
sorghum.
It's not corn?
No, it's not corn.
It's too much blood, Mom.
So here they have
Zinnia.
zinnias.
Zinnia mix. Zinnia mix.
Here they've got some beans that are blooming purple. I don't see a sign. Maybe. Pencil pod golden wax. Pretty purple blossoms. There's some pretty purple ones over there too. Royalty purple pod beans. Okay, these are beautiful. Look how pretty those are. So pretty.
Whoa! That is
Aren't those
amazing. How are they purple?
When the gardeners at Seed Savers Exchange perform a lot check, they are growing the variety and studying them. This helps them write accurate descriptions in their catalog, and it also helps them keep an eye on the purity of their seeds. What do you want to show me, boys? Oh yeah, straw flower mix. I think those will open more when the sun comes out.
Yeah,
Don't pick at them.
Beautiful when they come open.
More tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Drumstick flower.
What? Oh, I see.
You can see it be named drumstick. Whoa, look at how nice their celery looks.
Oh, Mom, look.
Yeah.
This is nice. Look, it's like a tiny gateway for like animals.
For Peter Rabbit.
Yeah. Peter Rabbit. And there's a whole bunch. Hey, Mom, look. These look like alien tentacles. And then this is the body. Can it come? I'm gonna show you an octopus leg. The octopus leg? Oh! Yeah, I see them. And then those, or like a bunch of suction cups. Yeah, those are the suction cups. This is funny. Rosemary.
Celosia. That's very pretty. And then
Why are they called snapdragons?
look at these. They look like they're glowing.
Oh, lavender.
There you go. That's those light purple ones.
That's heavier than me.
What was it?
Huh?
What was
The biggest pumpkin. Heaviest watermelon. Pumpkin. What? No, it was a watermelon. And it was weighed in. It was grown in Tennessee, and it was weighed at 350.5 pounds.
So next we went over to the flower garden, and here's where I could have stayed for hours and hours. Most of this garden is self-seeded, and the boys were getting a little antsy and wanted to move on to the fishing, the trout fishing part of our day. So I tried to take some time and enjoy this garden, but really we didn't spend near the amount of time in the flower garden as I wanted to. Oh, look at these zinnias, boys. I'm gonna buy myself some new zinnia seeds. Also, I saw hollyhocks. Let's play this. Kendrick, come here. I want to tell you something. Let's play the I Spy game.
No.
Yeah, hollyhocks. Find me hollyhocks. You know what
Wait, what do
hollyhocks
they
are?
look like?
Those that you make dolls out of?
I don't really know what those look like.
These are amaranth. Okay, but you got to stay on the path, please. Lamb's ear. That's what lamb's ear feels like. I think this is a zinnia too. Oh my goodness. These are like your mom's zinnias. So now that we had seen all the gardens, we visited the inside of their store, and it was like a seed catalog come to life. It's probably been one of the favorite places I have visited to date. I browsed. Elvin mostly entertained the boys. But I had such a good time looking at all the seeds, reading the descriptions, and dreaming of all the future gardens that I'm going to have. I'll come look at the hose sprayers. So after we left the Seed Savers Exchange with our bags full of seeds, we took the boys to the place that we had promised to take them all along, and that was the Trout Hatchery in Decorah, Iowa.
Mom, may I grab one? You can grab one. Imagine fishing in here.
Imagine fishing in here.
Imagine putting.
Oh, what my word.
Can I like stick my hand in and let someone bite me?
I don't know. You have to read on the side.
Boo! They look like electric eels. Yeah. Mom, we'll go to the big fish.
All right. Is it bigger over there?
Yeah.
So that they come up. See that?
So Elvin surprised the boys and bought them each a new fishing line. So they tried out the trout fishing right here at the trout hatchery. But unfortunately, since this is a heavily fished trout stream, they did not catch anything. But a good time was had by all of us, just sitting by the running water and relaxing or fishing. Okay, I'm going to show you all the seeds that I bought at the Seed Savers Exchange. So they're known for their heirloom seeds that they preserve and cultivate and harvest. So I've divided them up into things that I'm going to go plant and things that I'm going to save for next spring. So I got 2 packages of this winter density lettuce. It's slow to bolt in summer heat and also very cold tolerant. Has large dark green curled leaves from upright 8 to 10 inch heads. It's from England, and it says it's a bib romaine. And then I also got this Aunt May's bib lettuce because they had a very cute story posted in their store about where this lettuce came from. This variety was donated to Seed Savers Exchange by Nestor Keene, who received the seeds from his Aunt May in 1937. It's a butterhead lettuce, and it matures in 50 to 60 days. And then, because I love a good red mix, lettuce. This is a loose leaf, so it won't form a nice head. And then I got some poppy seeds. I'm also going to plant those this fall, and then they should give us blossoms next spring. I got some Swiss chard because in their garden they had some Swiss chard, and it was just beautiful. Now, I've not ever had Swiss chard. I've never cooked with it. I'm going to plant this next spring. It is a 50 to 60 day. So I have a colored silver beet, a gold silver beet, and then this one that I don't know how to pronounce. Anyway, if you have ideas on how to, it says here Swiss chard withstands light frost. So it probably would do okay as a fall crop, but I'm going to save these for next spring, and please let me know how to cook this for the family or what you do with your Swiss chard. It was very beautiful. I then got a couple packages of zinnias to add to my collection of zinnia seeds. And the beautiful thing about their garden is you can walk through their garden and everything that you see, they have their seeds inside. So I got some amaranth, which is Love Lies Bleeding. This is in the amaranth family, and all the amaranth that I have is very upright. This gives more of a draping. This has more of a draping habit, so it'll be nice over the garden fence. And then this is Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate. And this is, I think this is also, oh, it's not in the amaranth family. I thought it was, but it's not. And I just really like this for the name. I'm not sure where I'm going to plant this, but I really think that is a really cute name. So I'm going to put these and the Swiss chard away for next spring. I'm going to go plant some lettuce in the garden and some poppies. Actually, I want to put this on here. And then the other thing that I got at the Seed Savers Exchange is garden twine, because my spool that I have is almost all gone. And then we're also going to plant some cabbage. I have 8 plants of early cabbage. Actually, there's only 7 because the one's empty. And I have some broccoli that I'm going to plant. And then here I have some, I think she said this was cauliflower, and it looks like the worms were at this, the cabbage worms. So I'm going to plant all of this out. And I'm also going to, so when we were at Webster City at the Murray Fest, I got a gifted package of seeds from So Right Seeds. So they have collections of seeds, and they have some garden sugar peas. So I'm going to plant these. Normally when I plant peas, this is what I plant. I plant this many, but I'm going to put these in and put a little bit of fence on them, and we're going to have some fresh sugar snap peas. This is probably, I'm guessing there's maybe, it says 13 grams, maybe 2 dozen pea seeds in here. So that'll be enough for us to snack on in the garden. It definitely won't make it to the table. So I'm also going to plant some of the radishes from So Right Seeds and some spinach. Now, I don't normally have high hopes for a fall garden just because I get so busy with harvesting and preserving what I planted in the spring. And fall gardens for me take a lot of effort because it's hotter and drier, and I'm not used to watering things, because anything that we plant in May and June rarely, if ever, has to be watered. But if I plant it in August, I usually have to water it because the sun is so hot in August, and we don't get nearly as much rain as we do in May and June and July. Okay, now that we've got the soil ready, we're ready to start planting. And one of the things for the last 2 growing seasons I've told myself I'm going to do, and I still haven't, is I'm going to start my cilantro from seed at about July 1st so that it's in its big bushy stage when I want to can salsa. Because here's what happened. I'm like, oh yeah, I need cilantro. So I buy these little plants at the greenhouse in the spring. And now, guess what? It's time to make cilantro. I mean, it's time to make salsa. And this is what my cilantro looks like. This is not what I need it to look like to make salsa. So I keep thinking, if here in my zone, because cilantro is so much of a shorter season plant than tomatoes are, I need to plant my cilantro from seed about July 1st. That would mean by mid-August it would be at its prime. So, because the other thing is, yes, I can go to the grocery store and buy cilantro, but guess what? Everybody else must be making salsa too, because the grocery store had 0 cilantro. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant this. I'm just going to bury this, and I'm going to put salsa making, move that back, and either hope that this gets ready before the tomato, before frost, which could be in a month, or I'll just keep my eyes open for when the grocery store restocks its cilantro, and then when it's in stock, I will buy some and make my salsa. But so that's my plan that I never have done. But we're gonna plant this. This is cilantro that has gone to seed, and I've been planting these same seeds from this same cilantro plant for a couple years now, because when it looks like this, I just break it down and bury it in the fall, usually much later in the fall, and then it comes up next spring. So first thing I'm going to do is put this big bunch of cilantro in the ground and see what happens. So now I'm just gonna water my little transplant with some Spray and Grow and Bill's Perfect fertilizer mix, which I will link in the description, to help minimize the transplant shock. Okay, that brings us to the very end of that portion of the video, and now we are going to ferment something. What we're going to ferment is some salsa. Remember to use the meant to ferment hashtag, and I'll see your recipes. And let's get started. If salsa seems overwhelming for you to make because of all the chopping, I highly recommend getting one of these handy little choppers, and I will link this one in the description for you. So we're gonna start with about 6 to 7 cups of chopped tomatoes. You're going to add an onion, 2 onions if they're small, and a bunch of chopped cilantro. And I just, use my handy little chopper for all of these vegetables. You can add a couple hot peppers. I don't remember the variety of hot peppers I had, but they're not super hot, so I'm using 2. And then you're just gonna put all of it together. I decided to strain my tomatoes in a strainer because they were pretty watery. So I let it set and strained it, added all my vegetables, and then measured it all because I know I want to put this into a 2-quart jar. So I know I need about 8 cups of vegetables to fill the 2-quart jar. I used 2 garlic cloves. And I used the juice of 2 limes. And I added 4 teaspoons of salt and then mixed it all together and put it into my 2-quart jar. Then I added a glass weight. You wouldn't really have to because the vegetables stay down under the juice anyway. All right, there we go. We have made salsa. We've also made a big mess, but you're probably a much neater cook than I am, so don't worry about the mess. You probably won't make such a big mess. So we're going to set this on a counter for 2 days, and after that, it's ready to move to the refrigerator or enjoy. Now, if your jar was not quite full, you can just chop some more tomatoes and add it. If you had more salsa than fit in your jar, just go ahead and eat it fresh. And a quick look at last week's garlic, or honey fermented garlic. You can see how much runnier the honey has gotten as the garlic starts to ferment. I haven't tried any of it yet, but I had lots of requests to share the recipe for the honey garlic chicken. So I'll probably do that later on in the fall. That brings us to the end of this week's video. Thank you everybody for watching. And if you've made it this far, would you please comment and let me know which you prefer? Do you like the fermenting videos mixed in or at the end of our weekly videos? Or would you prefer I do the fermenting videos on Wednesdays, like do a midweek shorter fermenting video on Wednesdays? I think that will be doable for me, especially as the children go back to school. I will have more free time during the week, so that is an option. Just let me know what you guys think. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.